Good afternoon, friends. I recently participated in a pocket swap with my CosTubing friends, and I wanted to show you how my setup is in the evening when I come home from work. I actually just got off work. I put my little shrug jacket on, but I'm still wearing my work skirt and my sweater. So that's usually how I dress down a little bit when I get off work. And next to my chair, this is my sewing box that I use when I get home from work. This is my sitting area. I have a nice light right here. It's very bright that I use for all my sewing when I do hand stitching in the evening. And I wanted to show you this beautiful find. It opens on both sides and it has a little tray. I keep bits and bobs in my tray, like scissors and pins and different threads. It's really for doodads that I want to keep down here because my studio is upstairs. Now, most people have converted to a hussif, and I have actually a wooden sewing box, and we're going to go into detail of what's in here in a little bit. But what I wanted to show you is that I always have a pocket that I'm working on in the evenings. And I found that pockets make an amazing gift for any reenactor. It doesn't really matter what era, a pocket is useful. So I have found that just keeping a blank or a pocket that I can stitch on here and there, I can usually crank out a pocket in about 20 hours of stitching and just doing a half hour to an hour in the evening when I get home from work. So that's why I keep that in here. The other thing I keep in here are a bag of snaps and hooks. And the reason I do that is when I do my hand stitching and my snaps and my hooks, I usually come downstairs and I sit on the couch next to my partner when he gets home from work. The other thing that I keep in here is gross grain ribbon. And the reason I do that is usually I do all my waist tape for my bodices and my gowns also downstairs sitting on the couch because those are hand stitching things and I do them downstairs. I also keep different hoops in my embroidery in my box downstairs because sometimes when I do mending, like hem mending or arm mending or whatever, I like to use a hoop to secure what it is that I'm mending, and so having a variety of hoops downstairs in my sewing box just makes sense. So that's the primary contents of my box. I wanted to show you that I also have in here, I always have a pin cushion that I can put pins in. Because I'll pin something upstairs in my studio, I'll bring it downstairs and I'll stick all the pins in here, and then this pin case will recycle, go back upstairs, and an empty one will come downstairs. I have bone casings that I've put together for bodices. I hold my extra ones down here because, again, that's a hand stitching thing that I do in the evenings usually. Okay, so that's kind of the detail of that. I just wanted to show you that when I sew a pocket, my pockets are an ongoing sewing thing downstairs when I'm sitting and relaxing and with my partner. So I want to show you what's inside my little sewing box. And this is what is inside my big wooden box, but it has pretty much everything I need for sewing. And you're gonna see here that I have a variety of things. I have thread bobbins, that's what these are. You'll see them in reenactors. They're sometimes bone or ivory. I made my own from scrap. These are, I believe these are rosewood blanks. And then I have a pair of scissors, seam ripper, it's a scrap of something. I use tweezers, and I usually keep them in this little leather thing that I made. I keep an awl in here. There's my awl. My awl to make eyelets, that's bone. My tweezers go in there. And the reasons they live in here is that it keeps them out of wet or anything else. Wax usually lives in here with spare buttons, so my wax usually lives in there. Here's a bone bobbin. I used all the thread on it. I do use cotton spools of thread, so these are all cotton. This is linen. This is wool. And then I use thimbles when I sew, so my thimbles live in here. So I have a leather thimble and a metal thimble. This is a pincushion. I do use Thread Magic for things sometimes. These are heat erasable pens, and you always need a ruler. And this is my needle book. This is my needle book. I've had this needlework book now for about 10 years. I make them, I make new ones, I use them, and then I always default back to this one. It's got an L on it. So that's my little sewing kit, and we're gonna talk about pockets here in a minute. Okay, so I got what I think is my pocket in the mail. And it had this rip in it, and I hope it didn't affect the rest of it. So I'm gonna open it. I'm gonna try to open it where you don't see address, because I don't wanna give away somebody's address. I'm really excited. Fairly certain I know who it comes from. I'm from England, and I'm in Montana. So excited. Okay, I'm gonna have to open it this way. Oh, maybe not. Oh, no. So excited. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, it's a star. It's a quilted star. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, the star has such magical meaning for me. It's just beautiful. Oh, I love those colors. They're my favorites. Greens and blues and purples. Oh, and the pocket hole goes all the way through. That's so, oh, so it's reversible. Oh, epic. Epic. There's something in here. What we got? Oh, and it's lined in linen. Oh, that's just beautiful. Oh my goodness. I can't. It's so gorgeous. Oh my goodness. I just love this. This is epic. Oh, and the card is beautiful. Look at the flowers. Oh, I wonder what flowers. That looks like honeysuckle. And that's a rose. And that's... I'm not sure what that is. Dear Red, I was so pleased when I drew your name in the pocket swap. I had a lovely time making it, and I hope it suits. One side is a burst of sunshine just like you, and the fabrics remind me of ones you seem to choose. The other side is some of my favorite batiks, which remind me of cool water and the ocean. It has 2 slots, so you can wear it either way around, so it is reversible. Finally, the lining is red. I put red in somewhere on nearly everything I make. I hope it brings you a little bit of joy. Speak with you soon, Jalea. Oh, thank you so much, Jalea. Does it tell me what the flowers are on the back? Inspired illustration from the British Flowering Plants by William Baxter, curated 1813 to 1848, the University of Oxford Botanical Garden, founded in 1621 by Sir Henry Danvers, later the 1st Earl of Danby. I love cards like this. Sometimes they'll put on the back like what it is that the card's about, but that's okay. It's beautiful. I love it. And oh my goodness, you're right. I do choose these colors a lot. Oh, it's gorgeous. And it's got beautiful ribbon at the top. Oh my goodness, I just love it. Thank you so much, Dalia. You're just a beautiful human being, and thank you so much. And I can't wait to see what everybody else's pockets look like. The Pocket Swap project, organized by Jeanette from A Perfect Touch on YouTube. My receiver was Kate Willoughby from Willoughby and Rose, and I made her an 18th century pocket. I took inspiration for this 18th century pocket from some historical machine embroidery designs, as well as some museum collections made from wool, linen, silk, and cotton. And the dimensions on the ones from the museum are 16 inches long, 13 inches wide. So I copied some motifs and I tried to stick to the pattern pretty closely. This first flower is using blue wool lace weight yarn with a long and short stitch, and the bud and the stem are in chain stitch with cotton variegated threads that were a gift for me from Liz Capsum last year. And then I do use the plaited braid stitch a little bit, and then the straight stitch is used as the swirls going around the flower. This large center flower motif is done in all wool with sheep and alpaca lace weight yarns. The chain stitch and straight stitch is the only stitch used in this flower. This brown and gold flower, the yellow is silk from the silk mill in France. The brown is a wool lace weight. The red is a wool and alpaca mix of threads, lace weight yarn. And the purple stem is a plaited braid stitch in cotton pearl DMC. This blue and purple flower, the purple is silk from the silk mill. The blue is also silk from the silk mill. The stem is a plaited braid stitch in cotton, and the little blue bud at the bottom is a satin stitch. And then the green to the left is a chain stitch done in green silk from the silk mill in France. The total construction time on this project was 15 hours with the embroidery and the construction of the pocket included. The plaited braid stitch, which is pretty complex, actually goes pretty fast for me, which is why it's one of my favorite ones to do for stems. And it has a backside of silk taffeta and scraps that I had laying around. And I also included a second pocket in Kate's package. You should go check her video out. I will link it below. And you can see what other kind of pockets I make. Thank you.